Hello there, everybody. It's me, Callie Meister. How are you doing today? Long time no talk. I am so excited to talk with you guys today and to do this video. It's one I've been putting off for about a month, and I finally said, we're doing this today. And in fact, it's going to be the beginning of a new series that I want to play with, and I may even turn into a podcast. I'm going to involve other people in this. In fact, I'm going to start kind of networking. I've already been talking to some people, but I wanted to begin it with this video because this is where the idea and thought came from. So the series is going to be called Haunted Places. And I came up with the idea in May on my birthday when I went into Pigeon Forge and went to the Alcatraz East attraction on the Parkway at 2757 Parkway, Pigeon Forge. Now, this is a really cool attraction. It's a little bit different from most of the things you see in Pigeon Forge because it was actually the National Museum of Crime and Punishment out of Washington, D.C. And in 2016, they moved all of the exhibits from that into this Alcatraz East attraction in Pigeon Forge. So it's a little bit different. There are lots of things about criminal technology, forensics, criminal history, how police kind of function on a day-to-day basis, but there are a couple of things that have to deal with serial killers, and that was where I pinged as a psychic and an empath as going through this attraction. In fact, there are two places in the attraction that I want to specifically talk about. That being said, it's 25,000 feet of attraction. There's over 100 interactive activities. My favorite was they have drunk goggles, and there's 3 stages of inebriation, and they put these goggles on you and it gives you the effect of being inebriated and trying to walk that straight line. And it's absolutely kind of hysterical to watch other people do it in front of you. And it was that's kind of at the end of the tour. And it's very comical. They have you drive a car while inebriated, sort of interactive game. So it's a lot of fun. It's great for people of all ages. I cannot recommend it enough. But if you're an empath and a psychic, the two specific things that were interesting is there's a temporary exhibit right now. And it's Ted Bundy's Volkswagen Beetle. And it is really his Volkswagen Beetle. And I am not joking when that was the main reason I wanted to go. And I don't know if I mentioned it. In the month of May, they gave free passes to educators. That's how I got to go. I got in for completely free. I was allowed to bring 4 guests for free. All I had to do was present my ID and my teaching ID and email them, and they emailed me the certificates. And so I just walked right in. They were very nice, very hospitable, easy to work with, very gracious to educators. So if you're looking for something in the month of May next year, they do have this educator discount. They also have stuff for the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts where they can get a badge, a crime badge. So go check out their website. I will put the website. Now, mind you, I am not being paid by them at all. I'm doing this of my own accord. So understand, I'm not doing this as a spokesperson for this attraction. I just wanted to share my experience as a psychic, as an empath, and as an educator for this attraction. Now, if you don't get in on that discount, it's $25, a little under $25. I think it's $24.95. For adults, they offer senior discounts, children discounts, military and law discounts. And it was incredible. It was a senior discounts too. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it was a lot of fun. But I want to particularly talk about the 2 attractions where I felt heavy, haunted, sort of spiritual, other dimensional feeling. And the 2 attractions that really pinged super hard for me were the Ted Bundy Beetle and John Wayne Gacy's clothing. Now, as you go into the exhibit, you first start with a lot of historical things, like there's stuff for, the Old West and the Salem witch trials. And then you go around and they get into criminology, more of the criminology stuff. And they talk about, terrorist events and things. But then you turn this corner, and right as you turn the corner, you get into the serial killer part. And it's all these different serial killers. And they kind of immediately, when I turned that corner, I got a very intense feeling towards the corner behind this little wall. And they had it behind this little wall. I'm going to post pictures as I'm talking about this stuff so you can see what I'm talking about. But as you went around, there was kind of a little thing off to itself, and it was past a kind of a protrusion they had. I guess that's the best way to put it. It was, but it was kind of jutted out, and you went inside this little area, and inside like a huge shadow box, they had two of the clown costumes of John Wayne Gacy. And the minute I turned that corner, it was very cold. The temperature changed in the building. To me, it was like chills immediately in the back of my neck, and I could see him. And in the picture, I believe you can see him. And I now, mind you, I haven't done a lot of research on Gacy. I have a little on Ted Bundy, but not much on Gacy. What I felt from him is that he was a very private person. And the minute you turn that corner, he exuded a please go away. I don't want you looking. He was very possessive of his possessions. And he was like, okay, these are mine. He doesn't like people looking at his stuff. That was the one big thing I got from him. He was like, this is mine. I don't like people looking at it. He felt very infringed upon. So, your opinions on him, outside of just understand, I'm putting what he presented to me in that moment. And it was very much, I don't like people looking at my stuff. I feel very infringed upon. I feel very violated. That was the big feeling I got from him, is a violation. He was like, he felt incredibly violated, and more so of his personal possessions. They had a typewriter and a leather jacket. And actually what kind of astounded me is he was a lot smaller than I thought he would be. In regards to his physical living frame, his spiritual frame is huge. He has a lot of energy behind him, a lot of old soul energy, and he did not want people there at all. Very much, very unhappy that people were looking at his stuff, felt very infringed upon, felt very violated. So didn't spend a whole lot of time. I did get pictures, and like I said, as I'm going through this, I'm going to post pictures, and you guys please let me know in the comments what you see, if you see anything or what you feel from these pictures. And like I said, I'm going to kind of intersperse them as I'm going into this video. Now the second is a temporary exhibit. Now I believe the John Wayne Gacy one is a permanent one, and inside that part they also had letters from Charles Manson. They had some stuff from David Berkowitz, which for me I was incredibly interested in because I'm doing a lot of work research on Berkowitz for a screenplay I'm writing. And so that was my major interest of going, was to kind of see what they had on Berkowitz and see if there was any kind of clue to his personality. And they did have some interest. They had a postcard, like a Christmas or birthday card that he sent somebody. It had like a little drawing. The thing that I got from him is he was very childlike. Oddly, as it sounds, there's an innocence about him that I kind of felt from his possessions. Now, mind you, he is still alive. So, but he just kind of exuded an innocence and a childlike nature, and just a naivety a little bit. So, and then you had Manson, who I could feel he was very charismatic. Just from his possessions, you could tell that there was something about him that, and this goes to what I've seen and heard from people, there was just something interesting about him. You couldn't help but look at him. He defied you not to look at him. And that's kind of what I got from his possessions there. There was a huge picture of Sharon Tate that I was also kind of drawn to, and I felt her energy, which was very sweet, very kind, very generous. And I feel like that's kind of what makes that situation really tragic, is that she was such a giving, sweet person, and open, very open. That was the thing I got from her, is that she was very trusting and very open. And that's kind of what makes what happened even more tragic, in my opinion. So there's that. Now we're going to go on to the temporary exhibit, which is going to be there. They've got it until August of this year. It started in May and it's going to end August 12th, but it is the Ted Bundy exhibit. And that Volkswagen, that was another reason I went. They also have O.J. Simpson's Bronco. So if any of you guys are Generation Xers or baby boomers and remember the whole O.J. Simpson being chased, the Bronco is there. They also have Bonnie and Clyde's car, and they have another vehicle. I can't remember. I believe it belonged to some gangster, but I'm not entirely sure. But I pinged super hard on that Beetle. one of the things I'm going to put a picture, you can see a face. That's the thing that freaked me out. On the hood of the car, you see, and I think it's him. It feels like him. I sensed two victims particularly heavy. One of them, I believe, doing some research and seeing her picture, I saw a young woman with long blonde hair and a very sweet face. And looking through, I hadn't done research before, but after seeing her in that exhibit, and I spent about 20 to 30 minutes just down there with that exhibit, standing in front of it, looking at, investigating. I've never experienced a presence like that vehicle. I've never, it is one of the most painful, intense, like it's like a stab in the chest. I mean, it knocks the air out of you immediately when you see it. I think even people who are not empathic, like I was watching other people. That's another thing. I kind of like to just watch other people to see what they experience, people who are empathic and people who are not, or do not consider themselves empathic. Everyone that walked past that was incredibly affected by it. I don't know how you couldn't be. I mean, just through knowledge of history of what that vehicle means and the power that it presents in regards to some really horrific events. It's very powerful. It's a very powerful vehicle. Understand, if you're going to this attraction, I'm doing like attractions, whether they're for beginners or exorcist experienced. This is a good for beginners. So it's a beginner sort of attraction because it's marked off. It's during the day. You can't touch it. You know, it's behind a fence in areas sort of, so you can't get to it. But I did see one woman in particular, and looking up his victims, I think it's Janice Ott is who I saw. Long blonde hair, beautiful sort of cherubic heart-shaped face. Saw her kind of in a drowsy sort of state. Now, here's my belief. Do I believe that's her spirit? No, but I believe energy kind of holds itself in one place. So I think the energy of her experience is there. Because people are like, oh God, that poor girl. No, that poor girl is not trapped in that car. The energy of her experience is trapped in that car. And so what you're sensing is not necessarily ghost as much as it's energy. It's energy that's been given to that. Energy doesn't die. It stays in a place. That's very scientific stuff. So her energy is in that place. It was very interesting. It was very interesting. Again, I'm going to post pictures. But for that one, I would say if you are a psychic or interested in haunted events, that one is worth checking out. Again, it's until August 12th of 2019. So if you're looking for something fun to do and you're in the Tennessee area, you get to go to Pigeon Forge and you don't want to do bizarre Appalachian dinner theater, and you want something a little bit more substantial, check out Alcatraz East. It's really super cool. I give it, thumbs up, lots of fun. I'm going to put the website in my comments. I'm going to put some pictures. Please, again, like my channel, comment on my channel, share this video, show people, and let me know what you think. I'm going to look into doing some more haunted places. If you guys know of any place in the state of Tennessee that's haunted that you would like me to go review or check out or do a video of, I'm wanting to just do videos with people and just interactive sort of, we're going there and we're going to do this video, and then there may be reviews like this. So if you guys know of any haunted places in Tennessee or Georgia or Kentucky or Alabama or anywhere in the United States, let me know, because I'm going to go check those out, and I look forward to talking with you guys again, like my channel, share my videos. Thank you guys a lot. Take care.